South Korea may see higher tariffs from Washington if its legislature does not pass a recent deal to invest more in the U.S. That's according to President Donald Trump. In a social media post, Trump said South Korea was not living up to its end of a deal reached last July. He said he's raising tariffs on certain goods from 15 to 25%, as South Korea's legislature has not yet passed the deal. Under the agreement, South Korea committed to invest $350 billion in the U.S. in exchange for lower tariffs. The move comes as Taiwan seeks to pass its own deal with Washington, which has faced criticism from opposition lawmakers. Now, for more on how Trump's tariff threat against South Korea might affect Taiwan's recent deal, reporter Gorin spoke to political analyst Courtney Donovan Smith.
Now that the Trump administration has threatened to raise tariffs on South Korea if it doesn't pass a trade deal with the U.S., how might that affect Taiwan's own efforts to pass a trade deal with Washington, especially among lawmakers who are concerned about the further weaponization of trade by the U.S.?
The fact of the matter is that Trump has weaponized trade with the entire planet. And so, well, on one side, you could say that the deal that Taiwan reached was terrible because Taiwan was coerced into it. The fact of the matter is that the deal that Taiwan came up with was far better thought out and had far better terms, from what we know, than Japan or South Korea got. With Japan and South Korea, the U.S. government gets to decide where the investment goes and keeps a percentage of the profits. Taiwan does not appear to have those restrictions. It really feels like the Japanese and the South Koreans rushed into a deal and have a very much of a scribbled on the back of a napkin kind of feel about it, whereas Taiwan's deal is a lot more carefully thought out. And within the broader context of how the Trump administration has been using the leverage of the U.S. market to extract trade terms from countries around the globe, Taiwan's deal is one of the best.
Well, that being the case, do you think that Taiwan's slower, more deliberative negotiation process has resulted in a deal that is more likely to pass?
Well, I can't speak to South Korean or Japanese politics, but I think domestically, it will be hard for the opposition to object too strenuously to this deal. And the reason I say this is that within the KMT, there are going to be elements who want to oppose this in their role as opposition to the government. And they often take stances to oppose the government to prove a point and to extend the power of the legislature. However, in this case, you've got a lot of powerful figures in the KMT who want this deal done, signed, and delivered as fast as possible. So, for example, Taichung Mayor Liu Xiaoyan, who is considered the front runner to represent the party in the presidential election in 2028, and Taichung is particularly dependent on things like precision machinery, machine tools, traditional industries that need relief now, and they need it fast. And she came out very strongly in favor of this deal. So if the KMT Legislative Caucus tries to push too hard against the deal, what they're going to find is that a lot of constituents and a lot of powerful figures within the KMT are going to push them to go for it. So the KMT, I don't think there's a unified front against it.
That was political analyst Courtney Donovan Smith.